everybody for being here. Obviously, Wednesday's a really special day in our community and for our program, and having that game at 11. It's hard on us adults sometimes because it's just 2 hours of screaming, and they scream when we do something good, and they scream when the other team does something good. So, and they scream when teams do something bad. So but it's great for them to have that experience, to get out and be on a college campus and watch, young adults play a great game. And so it's a great field trip, as we call it, the 40-acre field trip. And, we're honored to be a part of it. So excited about that. It is a quick turnaround for us. We had some pretty challenging travel, both going and coming from our trip. Kids didn't get home. I'm going to guess they didn't get home till 1 a.m. Had to be in class or study hall at 8 yesterday, after traveling all day on Sunday. I think we got on the bus and left the hotel at 12, and we got home, about 13 hours later. So changed planes in Miami, and so it was a long day for them. So yesterday was a well-deserved day off, and we'll get back today with only really 1 day of prep. 11 a.m. game makes it hard to have a shoot around that day. We'll get in the gym a little earlier than normal for shooting, but it's been a while since we've been in the Moody as well. So today will be a big day for us. Obviously, Will Roberts is they're averaging 81 points a game. So y'all know that immediately jumps out and grabs my eye. Got 4 players in double figures, averaging anywhere from 11 to 15 points a game. And, they've obviously are scoring the ball at a really high level. So we'll have our work cut out for us. I tell you, with this group, though, what I like about them, they took, 3 games of, really only one game had multiple days of prep. Every other game was a day of 50-minute shoot around, but they took each of those shoot arounds and really were able to take it to the floor, what we were wanting to do and how we wanted to do it against the second and the third team that we played, Arizona's High Point and then South Florida. So, really, again, really pleased with how hard our kids are going right now in practice and shoot around. I love our focus. Very intentional group, very intentional about having to get things done and getting in and getting them done. A great example, we hold South Florida to 3 quarters of single digits. That fourth quarter, that group comes off the bench. We give up 24 points. I'm telling you, there wasn't anybody madder than that first group that started the game. And it's good when you can have people holding, your teammates can hold teammates accountable, not in an ugly way, but just in a way of, hey, we got to be better. And here's what you may or may not understand. The NCAA keep tabs on how you finish games. That's one of the things that they can keep a record of. And when they get in that room at the end of the year, they pay attention to how you close out games. And so we've talked about that and trying to be really efficient in how we do that. But, when you're winning like we're winning, it's good to be able to play kids like we've been able to play them. Certainly Arizona State losing their starting point guard early in practice, and then South Florida's best player being out. It really affects their team, I'm sure, in an adverse way. But in either case, our kids played really well in both games, and I'm not sure the outcome would have been any different as far as winning and losing. So proud of where we are. Now we've got to get ready for, in a short turnaround for tomorrow. And again, a team that's really can score a lot of points. They scored 74 on Oklahoma, and their fewest amount's been 50, 56, I think, at TCU. So excited about the opportunity. This is a great group. they're fun to coach and they're really locked in right now.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go Danny, then Bob.
Vic, can I just kind of get your assessment of the way you thought Aaliyah looked over those 2 games, and it also is Deanna any closer to coming back?
Yeah, so I'll answer Deanna's first. Deanna is won't play Wednesday, and has a doctor's appointment this week. So we'll see what the doc says. But she's been really today. She's going to go through a post workout with our posts, and that'll be part of her rehab, and that'll be another step in getting her back full go. Amo, I think her first bucket was a steal and a layup. It was really, as I mentioned the other night, is really says a lot about her teammates, the emotion that they had for her when I told her to check in. And, she's got some rust to knock off. I mean, I think we all expect that, but, she's going to be given the opportunity to knock it off. She won't have to knock it off sitting over there on the bench. So, I know she's excited about being back. We'll keep a close eye on her, but I'm really excited about her being back. I know her teammates are, and she is too. It's really hard, y'all, having something taken away from you for 11 months that you really love, and it's been a part of your life since you can remember. So, she did well the last 2 ball games. I thought she was really patient, Danny, down low. When we posted her up, she was very patient in her moves and trying to attack and walk around the defense. So, again, she brings a level of experience to our team that we need.
Bob, go ahead.
No, he's not on an airplane, Stoker. Coach, I know you have a very senior, experienced group of leadership. So you're probably not worried about okay, all right. Sorry, Coach.
Sorry.
I know you're probably not worried about overlooking tomorrow for Sunday, but I'm more curious the palpable excitement for 2 games in November that are like this. Like there's a lot more energy around them. There's a lot more that goes into them. How much do you feel that from your kids right now?
Well, I think, we'll stay grounded. We've been really good about whoever's next is next, and we'll be focused today on one team. You can't, they're kids and they know what's coming, and that's fine. But I know they'll be really focused on the one team. I'll make sure that today in film, we won't watch any film of anybody else. We'll just do what we normally do. We'll watch our things that we watch on us from the previous game, and then we'll watch, film on our next opponent. So, the Wednesday game, the field trip day, that's always you're right. It's that building's full of juice, man. It is an energetic group. And again, it's great that those kids have that experience at such a young age. And, so we'll be grounded. We'll be focused on the challenge at hand. We'll have plenty of time for the next one once that one's over.
Tyler?
Vic, hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. Your team is winning by an average of more than 42 points right now through 7 games. It's not like you're playing some low teams there. What's been the key to that discrepancy, the offensive output and the defensive bearing down?
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving too. I agree. We're just really this group really embraces the defensive end. They are playing hard on that end. They're making life miserable for our opponents, making them uncomfortable, and they really thrive off that. And when they don't get something done correctly, they're quick to correct themselves and correct their teammates. So I think it's been that end. And then the other end is we've just got more weapons. When you put a 6-year senior out there like Shaylee Gonzales, who can, you lose her 2 or 3 trips in a row. Next thing you know, she's made through back-to-back threes. Or you got Rory Harmon and Madison Booker who can create their own shot. I mean, let's just talk about that statement right there. We haven't had, guards like Rory and Madison who can go create their own shot. I mean, Joanne and Rory could Rory's freshman year, but Rory was still trying to kind of figure it out, run a team. She had some veterans out there at 2, 3, and 4, but now you've got a couple kids that can really go get a bucket for you. Then you can throw in, if we, when we get Amo back, you got her who can do some things, is pretty crafty. And then you've got an inside presence with Hattie and Taylor. And so, both those kids, Taylor's our leading scorer, but she's only playing 18 minutes a game. And, it's Hattie's playing 16 minutes a game, but both those kids are shooting 69 and 53%. That's what you want your bigs to shoot. You want them shooting 60%. So I just think offensively, plus we can get out and run. I mean, there's not a faster kid in America than Shay Holly. And she's really good at getting out and filling the lanes. And so, and then Amina is just, she's such a unique player. She's probably 6'2", closer to 6'3", but can guard 1 through 5. I mean, think about that. She just brings an added dimension to your team defensively, and she's improved offensively. And so, I could go down the list and talk about several of them, but at the end of the day, I just think we have more weapons. I think we're an older team. I think we got a point guard who embraces defense, and she wants the rest of her teammates to embrace defense. We only have 2 kids in double figures, but you got 2 more at 9'9" and 9'7". And so, I don't know if y'all got what Jeremy sent me last night, but it's noteworthy in regards to Rory. Let me see if I can find it here. Jeremy, remind them what you sent me. She's at 5 steals and 7 assists and less than 1 turnover. She hadn't had a turnover in 4 games or 3 games. She's averaging 12 points a game.
Basically, the two things are that her 12 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. There's nobody in the country that's averaging that right now. And also, if you factor in the less than 2 turnovers per game, there's nobody in the last 15 years that's ever done that for a season, that's averaged those numbers and under 2 turnovers. And she's right now under 1 turnover a game. She's second in the country in assist to turnover ratio with 47 assists and 6 turnovers.
So, I mean, it starts with obviously your point guard play, and we've got the best one in the country. And so I just think there's a whole level of accountability that right now our team embraces. And, we've got to continue that. We can't take things for granted. We've got to stay humble and hungry. But I really like our work ethic, y'all. I just like how intentional we are every day when we step on the floor in the gym.
Mark, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Vic, you mentioned that Aaliyah will have plenty of opportunity. Is there a restriction on her minutes? And also, are her skills, does she have special skills that fit your offense for her position?
Well, yeah, I mean, she's obviously can score at really good at 2 levels, the mid-range and the low post. And she's worked hard on her stepping out and facing up and scoring at the 3rd level. So it's she from an offensive perspective, she creates a lot of problems. And then defensively, she's a big, she's a physical kid. So I think she brings that dimension to our team, and she's smart. She will step in and take a charge. And so she's a good help defender. So I think all those things, allow her. She's a veteran, and she was sixth best player in the country coming out of high school. She's pretty good hand. So, excited to get her back. Was there something else with that question? Sorry.
Just is there a progressive minutes limit?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think when you bring kids back off injury, you're always concerned about them getting fatigued, because when they get fatigued, then that's when re-injury could happen. So we really watched her minutes. Didn't play her the first game, then played her the second and the third game. And I think she played, 12, 13 minutes a game. And so, we'll continue to build her up and build her into the rotation for sure. But I think when Doc and I talked, I'm going to keep a good close eye on her.
Thank you.
Danny?
Vic, kind of going back to the minutes thing you were talking about, do you foresee yourself kind of using this depth going forward, or does Rory kind of now, hey, that 27.5 minutes, that's probably going to be going up once conference play? Taylor, you're not going to be playing less than 20 minutes a game once conference play starts, or would you like to see that depth kind of used throughout the season?
Well, obviously, I'd love to be able to play our depth. And I think that's what the luxury of the schedule that we've had so far has allowed us to do, is to try to develop that depth, Danny. But you're right. As you get into these games where, they're much tighter and you can't afford turnovers and you can't afford giving up buckets after buckets, I think your rotation shrinks down, a little bit until those kids can prove it in practice that they're capable of doing it. And but I will say this about Rory. We are really confident in playing Madison at point guard, and Madison's very confident there too. So I think as we move along and Rory needs a minute here and there, we're more than capable of playing her and spelling her at that position, as long as Madison is not in foul trouble and having to be on the bench herself.
Bob, go ahead.
How much do your kids feed off each other in sports? Like, how much are they excited about the Big 12 championship, excited about the NCAA volleyball tournament starting this week? I mean, there's a lot going on that is pretty exciting on campus this week. I'm curious how much they feed off each other for that.
Yeah, I think we talk about the standard being the standard, Bob, and I think our kids understand that they're at a place where we all live it. That's the standard. Those teams are doing their job. We've got to continue to do our job. And I think our kids have been really good about being at both those teams, other two teams' events throughout the season. So we're fully aware. I know I am. We have a group chat, head coaches chat that we all have, that we have so much support for one another. It's really amazing. And, a lot of credit goes to all the head coaches here, that after a big win with those teams, like, they're always on there congratulating their colleague and their colleagues' teams for what they're able to do and accomplish. So it's a pretty unique and really special. Again, it's one of the special things about being here at Texas. But our kids know what the standard is, and we haven't run from it. We run to it. They're excited that football's where they're at. Excited that volleyball now is in their part of their season where they've always had such great success. And so we pay attention for sure.
And Shaylee, I asked Vic, you guys are winning by an average margin of 42 plus points right now. What's the key? Vic said more weapons this year and a lot of veteran leadership. What would you say is the reason behind that early season success?
I mean, I would definitely say that as well. We have a lot of depth in our players, and like I said before, we've been together for a long time, so we know what is expected of us from coach. And being older and more wiser, we get the game more, and we know what is needed on the court, and we're also able to teach the young ones. So I definitely feel like that is a plus. Um, and I would just say like how hard we work on and off, you know, whether it's in the weight room or coming to practice every single day. We come in with, you know, intent and detail. We focus on those things, which makes us better.
Bob, go ahead.
Shaylee, how much excitement do y'all feel for this entire week to get the screaming kids for 2 hours tomorrow and then UConn on Sunday? How much do y'all kind of relish the opportunity for a week like this?
Yeah. I mean, I've had kid games all throughout my career, and they're always super fun to play in, especially with, you know, walking in there and just hearing all the screaming kids. They might not know what's going on, but just to feel the support and, you know, them yelling throughout the game, and it's going to be loud. We know that. So we have to come into the game ready to play and ready to, you know, be more vocal and be able to, you know, hear each other on the court. Whether it's coach on the sideline, you know, talking to us or us during the timeouts, we got to be prepared for that and locked in.
Other questions for Shaylee? Danny, go ahead.
You know, Vic's always going to say, you know, we take it one game at a time, the coach speak, all that stuff. I'm kind of wondering, as a player, how do you do that? How do you concentrate fully on Oral Roberts when Sunday and everyone kind of knows what's happening on Sunday?
Yeah, obviously we have to take it step by step, game by game. Obviously, we're super excited for UConn, and that's a game that we've been talking about, thinking about since like the summer or since whenever the schedule came out. But yeah, just like I said, we have to take every game by game. We can't overthink Oral Roberts because you never know what's going to happen. So we just got to be locked in, focus on our scout, make sure we take care of business that first game, and then start preparing for UConn the next day.
Any other questions for Shaylee?
I guess I got one more. 7 games in, what do you really like about this team, and what don't you like? What do you think this team needs to work on before Big 12 play starts?
Yeah, obviously we're playing super well together. Even though we've been winning by a lot, some games feel like we're almost, sometimes I'm just on the bench. I'm like, wow, it really feels like we're losing because I know that we can be playing so much better. I know what our expectations are, and, you know, how we could be playing could be better. Whether it's, you know, I feel like we can work more on our defense, help side, and keeping the other team to less points. I feel like we've let the other team score more, which, like I said, we need to do better on defense. Like, we know we can score. We have a lot of people who can score the ball. Offense is not hard for us. So I think it's, you know, locking down on our defense is something we need to work on. But obviously there's tons of other things that are super positive, and our team is super tough. We got a lot of depth, and anyone can have their night. Anyone can step up. So I also think we need to work on consistency for each individual player. So everyone needing to step up and shine in their role.